Hello there, everyone. It is Justin, your Eagle Skipper, here with episode 12 of Journey to the Top, here with Darlington FC. And if you haven't already watched last episode, hit the card at the top of the screen to watch last episode, because in that episode we ended up saving our tenure here at the club with that 1-0 home draw against Gloucester. Then, since you were last with me, just one game to note: a very boring 0-0 draw against Chorley. I talked to Bywater before the game, told him he needed to step it up, and he did. We didn't do very well in that game, but Bywater kept it from being a disaster. And so now we have our last game of the season against Farsley away from home, and this is the team that we're going to be using for this match. We're going to have Appensall in goal, back four of Gilbert, Hunt, Broughton, and Undunson, with Kenyon, Hatfield, Bird, and Ngumbi in midfield, with Kumwenda and Charman leading the way. I'm giving Appensall and Undunson a chance to start this game. They haven't been poor this season. I just want to give them a chance for having a new right back come in next season, but we'll look at transfers in the next episode. For this one, let's just get into the match. Alright, let's pump our fists. Tell them that they're favorites. Tell them we have faith in them. Just want to see a performance in this game, because I'm not sure when my contract runs out. I think it's at the end of this season, and I really would like to stay with Darlington for next season. Try to have a redo of this less than successful season at the club. And we got a highlight from opening kickoff. That's pretty rare. We don't see too many of those in this version of the game, and Kumwenda puts a nice header, but unfortunately the keeper was directly in front of him, so nothing came of that one. And Nicky Hunt putting in another nice header to try to clear it out, but they're just kicking it around, and we're not really closing them down as fast as I would like, giving them plenty of opportunity to find the open man and pass it to him. Kumwenda can't get on the end of Gilbert's clearance, but Hunt kicks it, heads it directly at Hatfield, winds its way back up to Gilbert, puts a huge ball over the top looking for Kumwenda. He is through on goal, and he scores. Henry Kumwenda with his 16th goal of the season. Fantastic stuff. Barely a minute gone by in this game. That was an excellent ball over the top from Gilbert all the way back on the other side of the field. And he just puts it directly past the keeper. Excellent stuff from Kumwenda. I think Hull is who we have Kumwenda from this season. Yes, we do. And they have extended his contract, so I'm going to look to bring him in on loan again next season, but I've been trying to sign him permanently, but that has not materialized. But we're going to try to bring him back once again. They've got a bit of a corner here. A lot of danger. Appensall was out of position. He's really the one that should have done more, but Undunson also did not try to go in for that header, which ultimately the two lone players that I am giving a chance today aren't really showing that they deserved it. We got Gilbert in for a throw-in. Wants to find somebody, anybody, but he gets in on the clearance, and Bird wants to put the ball into somebody, but the keeper was the only one in the box at that moment, so that was a wasted effort by him. And Hunt gets tripped up, and Appensall, okay, we're going attacking. And I may bring Bywater in before halftime if he lets in another one. I'm going to fire them up because that was just not worth it. There's no effort in that team. Let's see. Hatfield's having a poor game as well in midfield. That's not helping our chances in this one. Ngumbi there is trying to close him down, at least slowing him down. He's not getting any help from Bird there, he was in Bird's position, so you would have hoped that Bird would have come in to give him some help. And Dunson lets himself get run by and then gives away a penalty. Oh my gosh. Absolutely poor stuff, and I don't even have anybody on the bench that can come in for him there. That's terrible. And Appensall leans the right way, lets it go past him. I'm just going to demand more from the entire team after 36 minutes. Even though we went ahead in this match, we just went to sleep. You can't do that at this level. And this is a very low level of world football. My goodness. Let's throw a water bottle. They deserve better. I'm telling them they have the ability to make a difference. Go do it. It demotivated a bunch of them, but I don't know what else to do. They deserve better. This is the bottom of the league, and if we can't get a result from the bottom of the league, I don't know what more they can do. Kumwenda gets a nice, adds a second goal to his tally from a nice cross from Undunson. Header right into the corner of the net. Excellent stuff, Henry. Excellent stuff. Let's tell Charman that... Let's encourage Charman. We want him to come back. He's not willing to discuss terms on a contract, which is very unfortunate because Luke Charman has been central to us being able to get anything from this season. And Hatfield puts in a nice header, but it would have been better if he used his foot and stuck it into the corner of the net. But they get a clearance, and their guy just over everybody. Appensall finally is able to touch the ball. Decent stuff from him. Wish he could do a little bit more of that in the rest of the game. And Kenyon is injured. So let's pause. Let's bring Campbell on for Kenyon. Let's take Bird off. Bring Wheatley on. And then we'll just leave things where they are for the moment. I may bring Seaborn in, but I really need Broughton's speed because we saw what happened when you let Seaborn and Hunt, who have a combined 7 pace, play in the back of play in defense. The over-the-top balls would just get worse for us in that instance. Kumwenda through on goal, gets his hat-trick. He is putting the team on his back. Henry Kumwenda, 18th goal of the season, 3rd goal of the game in his second start after his 4 weeks off of injury. Good job. Good job. I'm going to bring on Fali Kaluabai in for Henry Ongunbi just to give him some game time. I can't click on him right here. I could click on there, but he has low self-belief. Let's give him some run out and try to give him some self-belief. But he's got to do something. He's got to do better there when Nicky Hunt heads it on to you. Everybody's got to do better when this happens. Gilbert, nice tackle. And Campbell's going to run and try to save it from going out. Gets it into Gilbert. Gilbert makes the man miss without moving. Fantastic stuff from him. Gets it up to Mr. Kumwenda on his hat trick. Campbell puts in a through pass for the goal scorer, and I know this is just representation of the match engine, but that did not look like it was physically possible for the ball to bounce in that way. Appensall collects off of that free kick and hoofs it forward, looking for Kumwenda, wanting to give him a 4th goal of the game, looking for that winner. Let's encourage the team, maybe shore up some of their demotivation. Good stuff, good stuff. Smiley faces. Come on, guys, I don't want smiley faces, I want goals. And Dunson does get it into Charman. who gets it back to Wheatley, who came in for Bird. Gets it back to Undunsen. Undunsen crosses it once Kumwenda, but it was a very poor pass. And Broughton goes and finds Klubai, hits it down for Undunsen, and Charman is through on goal, squares it, and Richards passes it directly into Cousin Dawson, and unfortunately for Dawson, he gets blamed for the own goal, and we are going to slow things down, working for the box, dribble less, play out of defense, just doing everything we can to see off the last 5 minutes of this game. Maybe a little bit too much, but we really need to hold on to the result as it stands. Nice unselfish play from Charman there. Nothing came of it, but Kumwenda is through on goal, looking for his fourth once again. But it looks like this is going to be the last highlight of the game. We're already over the stoppage time, and they're just going to let them throw it in, have one last go at it, and Dunson puts it out, and that should be the end of the game. Come on, ref, blow the whistle. You know you want to. 30 seconds over. We don't need this. Let's just end the season right here. And Broughton hoofs it back out of play, and we're testing Gareth Rhodes here, the referee, to see if he can actually use the whistle that he has around his neck, that we all know he has. And Gilbert cleans that up, gets it to Appensall. Appensall also putting it out of play, and he finally realizes the time. And after that 92nd minute own goal, Darlington is able to win the last game of the season. And I'm going to tell them that they were brilliant to come back and win it. Good stuff from the lads. And that sees us end off the season level on goal difference with 60 points and 11th place. Really would have hoped for more with this season, but that's what we were able to do, and hopefully it was enough for Darlington to extend my contract. Yes, my contract is up in just over a month's time, and I'm not sure if I did enough for them to keep me on, but let's take a look at the squad and see some of our main performers from this season. On the average rating, Nicky Hunt leads the way with a 715 average rating, and Charman, Broughton, Kumwenda, and Carvalho were also way up there in the average ratings and were ever present for the club. Liang and Armonti, two real-life Darlington players, were high up in the average ratings, but they didn't get much of a chance here this season. And now if we go to our ever-present award, we have Luke Charman, 46 starts, 47 total appearances for the club. Henry Ongumbi also getting over 40 starts, and Max Broughton as well. Fantastic stuff from those guys. It's really hard to play that many games in a season. It just shows how crucial they were to our effort, and the fact that all of them had above a 6.8 average rating. They were the ones leading the way, especially as some of these other ever-present players didn't have quite as good average ratings. Into the goals, we have Luke Charman leading the way with 24 goals, but Kumwenda was really giving him a run for his money towards the end of the season. Kumwenda scoring 9 goals in the last 5 games that he played. Fantastic stuff from him. Ends up with 14 league goals. Charman ends up with 18 league goals. And he really showed me that a target man can make it at this stage of the pyramid. Good stuff from him. Let's look at our assists totals, and Tony McMahon leading the way with 13 assists from his 37 starts. Jake Kenyon bringing in 8 assists of his own. Ongumbi and Charman also adding 7 assists to their efforts. Good stuff from the guys. Would like to have somebody who can be a bit more of a playmaker. Nobody from midfield. Carvalho had 6, but he also has been injured for a long time now, since April, and that's what we'd like. Most of these players are out of contract at the end of the season, so I'm going to be struggling to put together a team next season, but let's skip forward to see if we can find the end of season awards. And here we are with our end of season review. Let's take a look. Looking at the new arrivals, we brought in quite a number of players. Max brought in the 20-year-old from Salford, brought in 40 appearances this season. Board gives him a B-. I'd say that's very, very ungracious to the effect that Broughton has had on the season. Kumwenda, everyone should be proud of the play that Kumwenda had, especially down the stretch as we were struggling, getting 18 goals from his 27 starts. Denilson Carvalho, Board gives him a B+. I think that's about fair. He was really good for a run in the middle of the season, but he dropped off. We dropped off about the time that he dropped off. George Nugent, I'm sorry, buddy. I only played you 9 times. You really should have. I mean, we weren't paying you any wages. I should have ended your loan if I was able to. And we brought in Seaborn, very much a panic buy when Nicky Hunt went down with injury. Hunt was able to come back, but Seaborn put in some good performances, even if he was not the answer at that position. Brought in Ngumbi on a quote-unquote permanent deal. He's going to be here through the end of next season. Good little winger, ever present for the team. Put in a decent number of goals, a decent number of assists. I think all these goals were in like 5 games, so really should spread out his performances. But nonetheless, a good pickup. We had Jake Kenyon, who brought in, who started 31 times for the club. Board gave him a C+. I'd probably give him a B-. He was ever present at left back in a position I thought Paul Gilbert down here would fill, but when we switched to the 4-4-2, he was our best option out on the left, and I just want to thank Jake for his service to the club this season. Brought in on Dunson, good little pickup, played 10 starts, 12 games in total, gave him 4 assists, never really a standout performer, didn't earn the starting job. McMahon held on to it, the 34-year-old head of youth development for this club. But Ndunson, not paying any wages, I think we got what we paid for from him. Paul Gilbert, he's definitely one for the future, but showed that he can be part of the present as well. Board gives him a B-. I'd say that's fair. I think in a few years' time, this is going to look like a good pickup, a better pickup than it does at the moment. Jared Bird gives him a C-. He never really showed up on the stat sheet, but our midfield got overrun a whole lot less once we brought him in from Barnsley, and I think the C+ is pretty fair for his effort. Then we brought in Stephen Bywater in goal, started 26 games, average rating is 6.64. Board gives him a C+. I think that's a little generous. I would give him a C. He was not great. He let in a lot of goals, but he filled a hole in the team that we had. We also brought in Kyle Haid. Board gives him an A+, but he didn't really show it. He's definitely somebody that Tranmere should be excited to have for the future. Haid didn't show that he had the current ability to stay at this level. And James Appensall, another a free loan, 13 appearances, really was poor. I was expecting a lot more from him when he came in. The board gives us a D for our performance this season. That's really fair. Some moments to remember. Our 5-1 win against Stafford at the beginning of the season when Luke Charman scored 4 goals in that game. That was fantastic stuff. Match to remember, a 3-2 win over York on the 27th of February. That was another fantastic game. And goal of the season. And Kumunda, this is the one where he ran from one box to another, showing that he is a box-to-box winger and just powers it through the near post, beating the Farsley keeper. Good stuff from Henry. Let's get back and go into the finances. No new sponsorships. Charman, Ngumbi, Campbell, Carvalho, and McMahon led the way on jersey sales, only 301, but we got over £1,000 in non-domestic merchandise sales, so that's pretty decent. How we lined up most often: Bywater in goal, Kenyon, Hunt, Broughton, and McMahon in defense. Wheatley and Hatfield in midfield with Kumwenda, Carvalho, and Gunby and Charman. This is a very familiar team. This is the team that led us to that run in the middle of the season, but this is also the team that stumbled when we tried to move back to it after some time away. And our accolades for this season. Fans Player of the Season, Luke Charman. Can't argue with that. Young Player of the Season, also Luke Charman. Max Broughton, Signing of the Season. I'd give that as well. Goal of the Season, the Kumwenda strike from afar. That was fantastic. Top goal scorer was Luke Charman. Assists was Tony McMahon. Most Player of the Match awards was Luke Charman with his 6th Player of the Match. That's totally deserved. And highest average rating goes to Old Man Nicky Hunt in defense. And as for the record, Luke Charman breaking a number of goals by the most overall goals by a player in the season, most league goals by a player in the season, most goals by a player in a match with 4, most goals by a player in a league match from Kumwenda with 4, most shutouts by a player in a season, 4. Really looking for more. Most Player of the Match awards in the season, got 7 total, and Joe Wheatley, 8 yellow cards, leading the Naughty Boys Club. With Gilbert and Bywater being our youngest and oldest players, I think that's going to lead us to the end of our end of season. Let's take a look at our team meeting. Let's discuss our plans for next season. Let's say they were aiming for the playoffs. They're delighted for that ambition. Let's pump our fists and say that's exactly what I was looking for. I say we can discuss promises when we come back. Thanks, everyone. Okay. That didn't work very well. I'm going to need to get better at these team meetings, but let's look at the club visions, changes. They want us to develop players using the youth system. Going to try that. Not very important to them. They want us to work within the payroll budget. Yikes. Apparently our contract ends at the end of next season. I think it ends at the end of this season. Let's take a look once again. Yep, it ends in 1 month's time on the dot. But I'm just going to accept the vision because I don't want to make any changes. But if we look at our dynamics screen, look at our hierarchy, we've got Hatfield and Hunt as our team leaders, McMahon and Wheatley being highly influential, Charman, Campbell, Bywater, Seaborn, and Kenyon, other influential players, and the majority of those influential players do support me. That's pretty good. Here's the social groups if you're interested in that. New season team report. This is what they say our best team is for next season. I tend to agree that's what we've got at the moment, with one exception. Nicky Hunt is not going to be starting out on the right. We have a guy that we're bringing in. I will wait to show you that until the next episode. I just skipped forward a couple days and I got this little notification that Darlington is indeed offering me a new contract. They have given our budgets for next season, $3,000 in transfer budget, £10.25 thousand a week in payroll budget. Here's our club vision. I'm just going to start negotiations and I'm going to accept what they offer, with one attempt to increase the length and drop down our per week salary. I'll just suggest what they offered, and happy to be able to stay here for the future. But anyways, with that confirmation that next season will be at Darlington, I want to encourage you guys to leave a like and drop a comment if you have any suggestions for what we should do going forward, and be sure to subscribe if you'd like to join us on this journey to the top.